No, little child, it's Bazanga. What are you doing here? Didn't you already die by the hands of Blazer?
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Are you curious where you can watch the latest episode of Kamen Rider and Sentai every week? Well, since there is no official release, you might have to resort to alternative methods. Personally, when I search for a website to watch tokusatsu, my top priority is to safeguard my personal data. That's why I rely on Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video. With Surfshark, your online safety and privacy is paramount, as it is effective at concealing your online activities through its VPN capabilities. By encrypting your internet traffic that nobody can pry into your online endeavors or track your digital whereabouts. Additionally, Surfshark enables you to virtually explore the world with a tap, thanks to its ability to change your VPN address. By switching your location to anywhere in America, let's say, you can access at least over 10 Ultraman shows and movies, or explore other Toku shows available on Tokushoutsu. You can poke around at the Japanese Premium Bandai page and discover a captivating array of expensive children's toys. I highly recommend getting Surfshark VPN today, as it comes with an extra 3 months. Simply click the link in the description, and if you are unsatisfied, rest assured there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So why wait any longer? Take advantage of this fantastic offer and sign up now. It's an incredible opportunity for all of you, my fellow Tokusatsu fans. Like real life, Terra is experiencing a very bad case of the heat wave. So All Five Kingdom has decided to organize a festival where all of the kings would participate, in exception to Gira, that still doesn't know what type of king he really wants to be. If it's the Tyrant King persona that he really likes to play up, or his real self. And with the help of the other kings, pretty much telling them, hey, what are you doing? Like, the entire Tyrant King shit is dumb. You're just evolving to a new Oraculus that changed because he got his powers. You just need to be yourself, and this is how you become a better king. And then he pretty much understands that, oh yeah, they're right. And he vows to be a better king than Oraculus did. A king that is actually approachable. A king that when he wins, the entire kingdom wins, because that's what a real good king should be. This part was fine. I can even say it was great, but it kind of feels like we already did that. And it feels like, at least in this department, the show is kind of retreading the same story with Gira of, oh, should I be my real self or the Tyrant King? It's kind of getting boring. And now with Gira fully becoming like himself and ditching the Tyrant King persona, or at least ditching it when he's in front of his people, it's great. It's showing a new layer in Gira's personality, and having him fully establishing him as the king is great. I just hope that this is going to be the last time we're going to ever talk about it or ever discuss this story element again. The cause of the heat waves aren't like real life, with us polluting the earth, but actually a part of Defnorak's plan of having a Bagnorak dig deep down to Terra's core, where he would just jump down and grow larger, with it destroying Terra entirely. This is the stupidest plan ever. If I would break the plan down to the most basic kind of fight I can actually tell you, is like when you were a kid and you and another kid were fighting over a toy, so the other kid, to quote-unquote win the fight, breaks the toy and then pretty much says, if you can't play with it, I can't play with it. This is the plan, like genuinely. It's kind of funny. But one of the most interesting part about it is pretty much Kijimin's entire reaction to it. I'm hyperbolizing here, and that is like, WTF, dude, that's a dumb plan. But I don't believe Kijimin really cares, specifically for the well-being of Ragnarok. I think Kijimin as a character is always going to be kind of like, okay, somebody else will take his place. Almost like he's triple agenting to everyone. He's pretty much, he has another guy that he works for, and if that other guy would die, okay, I'll go to the other guy. It's fairly going to be interesting how Kijimin is going to turn out. If like Kijimin in the end would be the final villain, which that would be fun. I think his suit, the way that Kijimin looks, is really cool. So I'm fine with him being the main villain. And it's pretty much setting up for Ragnarok to die. So like, come on. And we have like a perfect replacement already with the other Ragnarok that we heard about and not really seen. And we don't really know if he's alive or not. And that is the Ragnarok that was also gunning to be the leader of the Ragnarok faction that was actually fighting Ragnarok to be the leader. So that's going to be interesting because we don't know the whereabouts of him. So maybe he would also be semi-related to battery-powered king that pilots a big dinosaur. Samba. Jeremy, hearing the plan, tried to talk Ragnarok out of it. But then, Ragnarok asked Jeremy a question. Are the Ragnarok truly the bad guys? Because the only evidence to that part of the story is pretty much the story passed down to everyone that was passed down to him. Which, if you really think about it, kind of messed up. Because if you think about when that story happened, was 2,000 years ago. And no one lived through that. So no one know if the Ragnarok are actually the bad guys. Think about it. The Ragnarok were secluded, pushed down underground because one moment. And that moment made them be the bad guys all the time. Almost like humanity is kind of racist. And it's really interesting because who are really the heroes of the story? Because if you really think about it, are the Ragnaroks really the bad guys? Which is really interesting, and I absolutely loved it. I wish it was way more of the focus of the story, because Ragnarok is clearly dying in next week's episode. So it's going to be kind of interesting, at least the repercussion of that entire thing of like, hey, are the Ragnarok really the bad guys? Think about it. And it was really interesting when Jeremy went back up to talk to the rest of the team. The little kid from the orphanage was like super scared of Jeremy. They don't know that Jeremy is a good guy. Maybe I just don't remember if the other people of Shugadam know about Spider Kumanos and his identity. Maybe. I don't know. But that was kind of interesting. And it's a thing that I wished was played up more, specifically like the people's like terror of like, that's a Ragnarok, and you know, you could kind of tie it in to how much maybe the Ragnarok aren't really the bad guys. The one thing that the show never really got to really highlight on, and that is Jeremy's related to Ragnarok. Yeah, which I'm surprised, and it's like the show never really explained it. I kind of wish they done more with it. It's like a theme that is actually really good, but you know, never really going to be explained upon, or at least followed up on more than like next week's episode. Probably after Ragnarok is dead, Jeremy will just, you know, be the king of the Ragnarok until like the old guy that was fighting Ragnarok would come back, and somehow Samba Man would come in and dance around and would dance out to his V-Cinema. But that's just a rumor. We're not sure about that. But pretty much it all falls down to after King Ohger defeat Bazangarok. I don't know his name. I would just call him Bazangarok. Ragnarok shows up and the 5 King Ohger fight him. But Jeremy still tries to actually talk him out of it. And Ragnarok doesn't do it. And he eats pretty much a pile of Shoe God souls. Which, how did he get it? Is it like the lesser Shoe Gods that kind of like are the small parts of King Ohger? Like, how did he get it? And dives down to the core of Terra to end the episode. In my opinion, it was a great setup to this halfway finale of the show. Again, next episode is going to be the last episode with Defnarak. So it's going to be kind of interesting what's going to happen after Defnarak dies and where all of the characters are going to play a part in the story, where Jeremy's kind of going to suggest the question of, are the Bagnorak really the bad guys? What really happened 2,000 years ago? Because let's not forget, like, Bagnorak and human breedings were like a semi-common theme. It wasn't just Jeremy and that's it. 100%. There are more than one, and more than 2 and 3 and 4. There's probably thousands of pretty much generations of a human and a Bagnorak breeding with each other, which is a thing that I kind of want to see more of it. So yeah, what you thought about this week's episode of King Ohger? Comment below, let me know. I want to thank Surfshark for sponsoring the video. Please go down to the link down below, try it out. It's a really good VPN and they have a really great antivirus. So yeah, subscribe to my channel if you didn't. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.